Alright, dudes and dudettes, here we go. NFC Championship predictions. This is the game that I am extremely looking forward to. I'll just tell y'all that right now. Like, I'm not even, a big fan of these two teams, but I do respect them. And out of respect for them, that's why I'm looking forward to watching these two teams play. And this is going to be probably one of the most electrifying, breathtaking NFC Championship games in a long time. This game, I'll tell you something. This NFC Championship game will probably be just as good as the Saints and the Vikings back in 2010. And we know what a wild one that was. But yeah, this one is going to be like 50 times more wild than that. Why? Because number one, these two teams have met before in the playoffs. And historically, the home team has beaten the road team more times than none. So this has all the elements of just a sudden, impactful situation, pretty much. I mean, there's going to be so much drama in this game. We probably won't even be able to take it all. Trust me. But anyways, the San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Giants. The San Francisco 49er franchise, let me just say, has been reborn. No, wait, I'll do you one better. Scratch that. It has been resurrected. Because Jim Harbaugh has single-handedly taken the shovel and dug up this franchise from the grave. Because, to tell you the truth, I thought, especially after, the Jerry Rice era and the Steve Young era, and after they won their last championship, I thought this franchise was dead. I'm not going to even lie. I thought they were a memory. I thought they were forgotten. Everything. And especially the problems that they've had recently, with Mike Singletary and, the offensive coordinator changes and the quarterback changes and, Vernon Davis's whole deal. And, I just thought this organization was buried, pretty much. But thank God for change. So like I said, Jim Harbaugh has single-handedly resurrected this franchise. Period. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful story. And he did it in his first year. His first year now. A college coach on top of that. It's not like Harbaugh's been, in the NFL, for a minute, coaching or whatnot. But as a college coach, came in and took this team from the gutter back to the penthouse. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And then on top of that, like, they're hosting their first NFC Championship game in 9 years. 9 years this franchise has not gone anywhere. Just been hitting a lot of dead ends in the road. But this guy came and picked them up and got them back on the road to success. I applaud Jim Harbaugh, man. I admire him, and my respect goes out to him. Really. But yeah, enough with all the history and the sentimental stuff. Let's talk about the game. Now, a few weeks back in the regular season, these two teams met, and it was a close, dramatic game then, because a lot of people thought that San Francisco was gonna, you know, they thought it was over in the first game. I mean, pretty much. They thought that New York had the game wrapped up, but being that the 49ers have a newfound toughness, a newfound resilience, they were able to come back and win that game. And that's a lot of, that's what we couldn't say about this team, you know, um, the year before last, or even when Mike Singletary was there. We cannot say that about this team being mentally tough and resilient. You know, most of the time when you know, take the 49ers out of the game, that was pretty much it. You had them beat, you know. But Jim Harbaugh has lit a huge competitive flame into these guys. And it shows, you know. It really, really shows. So we'll see if, they can continue on this Cinderella journey all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, as for the Giants, you could say in a way they've kind of resurrected themselves too, because a lot of people thought after the 2007 season they were like, oh, okay, the Giants are going to be just another team now. You know, they probably might win their division a couple of times, but they won't make it back to the playoffs. You know, but Tom Coughlin, much like Harbaugh has with the 49ers, has lit a new competitive fire in them, and has gotten them to this point again. So, hey, hats off to both coaches. So, this game, this time around, this is going to be it's going to be another memorable game, much like the one with New Orleans was last week, or the week, last week. So let's talk about it. The New York Giants, we know that they are a great passing team. You know, they have some explosive receivers with, Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz, and Mario Manningham. Peyton Manning is Eli Manning. I gotta stop doing that. Eli Manning has turned it up all the way up towards these last couple of weeks during the season, and he's looking a lot like he did back in 2007. I mean, I know people wear that out, but the truth is the truth. He's looking very, very good. Not mentioning the fact that they just completely steamrolled my Atlanta Falcons, but that's another story for a different season. But yeah, the New York Giants have really snuck up on some people, because with the injuries and everything else that was going on with Eli, and people just really thought that they were just going to be gatekeepers, but they proved a lot of people wrong, shut a lot of people up, and here they are. But basically, what Eli Manning is going to want to do is he's going to want to attack that secondary early and often, like he did in the first game. get Hakeem Nicks involved and get Cruz involved early. I think, everybody wants to talk about Victor Cruz is going to be, the objective for this game. I don't really think so. I think Nicks is the guy you need to worry about, because Nicks is, I think the number one playmaker of those receivers. That's just in my opinion. Now, Victor Cruz, he's another option too, but I just think with, Hakeem Nicks' catching ability, his speed, his physicality, I think he's the guy that you have to worry about, not so much Cruz. Now, although Cruz is a lethal weapon himself, but, when the game is on the line, especially if it gets down to the wire, Nicks is the guy you keep your eye on. So that's who I believe that secondary has to deal with. Now, of course, everybody's still going to keep a body on Cruz, because you have to. He's just as deadly as Nicks is, because not only can he catch, but he can make plays after the catch. Everybody knows that. So yeah, you always want to keep him covered, but I think Nicks is going to be the guy that's going to demand the most attention. And then with that being said, it really doesn't get any better, because while you're focusing on Cruz and Nicks, that's going to leave Mario Manningham open in the slot for opportunities to make plays as well. So, it's a load. It's a load. But you know what? As good as that secondary for the 49ers defense has been playing, I think they can stop those guys. I truly believe they can stop those guys. Because the secondary of the 49ers MO. They're going to be physical. They're going to hit you. And they're going to look to lay you out. And we've seen in the past, especially with Hakeem Nicks, if you give him one good shot, it's curtains. Now, Cruz, we really haven't seen him, really banged around like that. So it'll be interesting to see, how physical that 49ers secondary can actually get with Cruz. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I think that secondary for San Francisco is confident right now, extremely confident, and they feel like they could slow down any receiver, no matter who it is. So that's that. Now, as far as the running game goes for the Giants, that's going to be a different problem, because the Giants running backs have been playing freakishly well, especially last week against the Packers. They were just running circles around that D-line. Running circles, especially Brandon Jacobs. Brandon Jacobs had a huge game last week. And being the tough, powerful runner that he is, he's gonna really want to test, that defensive front up there, especially that their front four, I believe, with Willis and Bowman and Smith and Aldon Smith. So yeah, we're really gonna see what this defensive front for the 49ers is really made of. We're gonna see. We are gonna see. And I'm not saying they can't do it. It's just the fact that how long can they do it is the question. Because they're one of the best run defenses in the NFL. So it's not a question of can they stop the run. It's how long can they stop it. Can they stop it throughout the entire game? Because as we saw in the first game, you know, Jacobs and Bradshaw, you know, they started to gain momentum as the game progressed. So, you know, that's just a question that San Francisco is going to have to answer. So, that's that. As far as the San Francisco offense is concerned, that is a very, very interesting point of the game. Now, although Alex Smith was able to get rid of the ball in time, you know, his receivers, you know, really weren't able to do much after the catch. So I think what's going to happen this time around is Alex Smith is going to want to make it to where his tight ends and receivers can create space to make plays after the catch. I think if they can do that, I think they can definitely win the game as far as offense is concerned. So, we'll see. We'll see. And, you know, Gore's going to have to really shine in this game as well. They're going to have to get that running game going somehow. The defensive front for the Giants did a good job in containing Gore. So we'll see how the strategy changes up this time around with Frank Gore in the running game. So yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game, man. It's gonna be exciting. I mean, you know, I'm gonna be super jacked. I know that crowd is going to be roaring like they did last week. And I think that's another advantage that the 49ers have, is that home crowd. I have never felt passion and enthusiasm like that ever. I mean, now I know there's some good fans in the NFL. I mean, you got the Saints fans, you got the Seahawks fans, but the 49ers fans, I mean, you know, it's just something special about that crowd, you know. I mean, when they start cheering, man, it's almost intimidating, you know. I mean, you know how you have some crowds out there that, you know, you can just kind of fend off even if they're cheering loud. But that San Francisco crowd, man, it's just something about them, man. I don't know, but that is definitely the backbone of that team. And you know, if they were cheering their lungs out when they played the Saints, just imagine how it's going to be Sunday. First NFC Championship game in 9 years? Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Let's get real. But how I see the game going, you know, a lot of people are going to think I'm probably stupid for doing this and I could care less, but I think San Francisco can pull this out. I think they're going to ride this wave of momentum into the Super Bowl. I just see it happening. You know, I just see, you know, Alex Smith giving another gutsy performance. And, you know, I could see Vernon Davis making big plays down the stretch, you know, as well as Michael Crabtree. And for some reason, I think that Frank Gore is going to be the guy that wins the game for this team, as far as offense is concerned. So, yeah, I see San Francisco pulling it out, man, for some reason. You know, I can just see them, you know, just being just resilient and focused and finding a way to win. You know, and that defense is going to be a big part. That defense will get its interceptions. They will get some interceptions in this game, please believe. And somebody will be laid out. Somebody will be laid out. Trust me. Trust me. Oh shoot, I know I just went over, but I don't care. Whatever. You know. But yeah, I think San Francisco's gonna do it. I mean, I'm not counting out New York by any stretch of the imagination, because they're a hot team themselves, you know. But I just don't know, man. I just, you know, with that run game, you know, I just think they're gonna, you know, give that defensive front a different look this time around. And I just think, you know, that O-line's gonna step up, and they're gonna create gaps for Frank Gore to do his thing. And like I said, the defense is going to shine. I think, you know, Vernon Davis will have another solid game. And I think, like I said, Michael Crabtree will have his coming out party Sunday. Trust me. So there you have it. That's my prediction. So basically, I think we're going to have a historic family affair Super Bowl. Harbaugh versus Harbaugh Part 2. That's how I see it. But anyway, you all enjoy the games, and I will be back probably a couple of weeks from now to give my Super Bowl predictions. So there you go. Peace.